The First Purge is the fourth movie in the series, chronologically the first film, if you're talking about chronological order. And this is a new film in the Purge series, and the plot here is that it basically tells the story of the first Purge. So basically, the new founding fathers of America is trying to push the crime rate below 1% for the rest of the year this movie takes place in. And they decide to test a sociological theory that vents aggressive for one night in one isolated community. But when the violence of officers meets the rage of the others, the contagion will explode from the trial city borders and spread across the nation. And so you have these these two characters that named Dimitri, Naya, and a group of other people. They're trying to survive the night, but also avoid getting killed themselves in the process. This movie is pretty cool. Now, I like the film. I think the film is okay, but the issues are noticeable in this movie. Now, The Purge is a guilty pleasure franchise for me. Now, I will give the movie this. It takes place on Staten Island, and Staten Island, to anybody there, I can totally see why you would be turned off by this movie because it's depicting the violence in that area. But it's only just a movie, guys. Also, for an hour and 33 minutes, this movie gets an hour and 37 minutes to be exact. This movie does have some slow moments, and that really kind of brings the grade down. Also, I feel like the violence in this movie, it's intense, but it gets way too overbearing in a lot of areas. And I get it, this is The Purge, it's supposed to get overbearing. And you do it is like an action to horror film. But most of the violence is just extreme to the max, physically disturbing, and really visceral, and it gets really rough. And so I don't think kids would be able to do this, would be able to sit through this. The writing of the characters, I kind of feel like the characters should have been more well fleshed out enough to care. Now, when the killing starts happening, it is what you want to see in a Purge movie. The music is fine by Kevin Lax. It is not Nathan Whitehead this time. The acting in this movie is pretty solid for the most part. You have two newcomers here named Yeon Noel and Lex Scott Davis. Yeon Noel, he was great in this movie. You also got Marisa Tomei in here as the architect, aka Dr. May Updale. She's always great to see. You also got Steve Harris, another good actor I remember. And the movie is shot well. I will say this. For the $13 million they had, it is shot well. And I guess the other kind of negative I have with this movie is that for $13 million, it kind of tries to use CGI. But I will say the First Purge, it is a decent entry to the series. It's not too bad for a prequel, but if you will tone down the violence a little bit, not to where it's PG-13, and trim out some of the slow moments, my grade for this would be higher. But as of now, I will give the First Purge a middle badly. Still enjoyed the film, but yeah, the flaws are noticeable. So let me know what you guys think of the First Purge down below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? And I will see you guys in the next video.